Hi guys, in this video I am going to summarize the overall events in the replication of bacterial plasmid. So this is the bacterial plasmid. Now we are going to see how this is replicated to produce two daughter plasmids. The process of replication usually starts at a specific point on the DNA called as origin of replication. It starts at a specific point called as origin of replication. This origin of replication will always be found proximal to a AT rich region. It will be always found proximal to AT rich region. Okay. So this origin of replication will be first identified by a protein called as DNA A protein. So this DNA A, it will identify the origin of replication, binds to it and breaks the hydrogen bond between this AT region and creates local denaturation. It unwinds the strands to a smaller extent. Okay. So after this separation of this part of the strand, the next protein DNA B will come and start its action. The next protein DNA B will come and bind. Okay. So this DNA B, the other name for DNA B is helicase. As the name says, it will separate the hydrogen, it will break the hydrogen bond between the strand and separates the strand and creates a replication bubble like this. Okay, so this is the replication bubble. Okay, the separated strands are stabilized by single stranded binding protein. They will bind to the separated strand and prevents them from rejoining. Okay, now it is only within this replication the active replication takes place. Okay, so how this replication happens, we will see in detail. Okay, so for that detailed explanation, I am going to divide this DNA into two halves. Okay, so this replication process is a bidirectional process. So one set of enzymes will move in the clockwise direction and the other one in the counterclockwise direction. Okay, so both the sides the replication will be taking place. Okay, so now we will take one half of it and I will explain you how the process is going to proceed. Okay, the other thing also the same way only it will proceed. Okay, so now we are going to take the one half of DNA. Okay, so in this one half, first let us focus only in this replication bubble, how the replication is taking place within this bubble. Okay, so when you see this bubble, in this bubble, one strand runs from 5' to 3' direction and the other strand runs from 3' to 5' direction. Okay, so now we will see how the DNA, this part of the DNA is replicated. Okay, so the first enzyme to act in this replication bubble is primase. As the name says, its function is to synthesize a small piece of RNA called as primer. This primer will be synthesized opposite to the 3' end of the parent strand. Okay, so here you can see the 3' end. Okay, so just opposite to this, a primer will be synthesized in 5' to 3' direction. Okay, this happens in both the strands. Okay, so in the opposite strand, where is the 3' end? Here it is. Okay, so just opposite to this, in the 5' to 3' direction, one more primer will be synthesized by our primase. Okay, so now what is the function of this primer? Means it will provide the 3' end for the action of DNA polymerase 3, which is the main enzyme of elongation. Okay, so once the 3' there is a 3' end, our DNA polymerase 3 can start its action. Okay, so to this free 3' hydroxyl end, our DNA polymerase will add the nucleotides one by one and leads to the elongation. Okay, so we all know that our DNA polymerase has two different activities. One is 5' to 3' polymerase activity and the other one is 3' to 5' exonuclease activity. Okay, so by the help of this activity, it leads to the elongation. Okay, so the parent DNA will be copied from 3' to 5' direction. Okay, it will be copied from 3' to 5', but the new strand will be synthesized in 5' to 3' direction. It will be synthesized in 5' to 3' direction. Okay, so this happens in the opposite strand also. In the opposite strand also, the parent DNA will be copied from 3' end to 5' end and the new strand will be synthesized in 5' to 3' direction. Okay, so this activity of DNA polymerase is called as 5' to 3' polymerase activity. Okay, so while adding the nucleotides, it will strictly follow the base pairing rule. That means if adenine is there in the parent strand, it will bring the thymidine, deoxythymidine mononucleotide. Okay, if there is guanine, it will bring the cytidine nucleotide. Okay, and vice versa. Okay, so though it strictly follows this base pair rule, still error can happen once in 10 to the power of 3 or 10 to the power of 4 nucleotides. Okay, so that error can happen. Okay, so that error is prevented by our 3' to 5' exonuclease activity, which is otherwise called as proofreading activity. So after adding each nucleotide, it will just check whether I have added a correct nucleotide or not. Okay, suppose if it has added a wrong nucleotide, suppose in the parent strand there is a adenine nucleotide. What is the nucleotide that should be added? It should be thymidine. But instead, if a guanine or a cytidine residue is added, it will turn back, and by the help of this 3' 5' exonuclease activity, the wrongly added nucleotide will be removed. Okay, so by the help of these two actions, DNA polymerase will extend the primer and leads to the elongation process. Got it? Now, once elongation is completed in this part of the replication bubble, our replication fork, which is mainly made of helicase enzyme. Okay, so that will move further and it will create a new bubble for our elongation process. Okay, so this part is the new bubble created. Okay, whereas this is the already created, which was created in the previous page. Okay, so this part is over. Now the helicase has moved and created a new replication bubble. Okay, so now we will see how the synthesis happens in this new part. Okay, so in this new part, when you see one strand, there is already a free 3' hydroxyl end. We have a free 3' hydroxyl end. Okay, so to this end, our DNA polymerase will keep on adding the nucleotide and it will complete the synthesis. But whereas when you come to the opposite strand, we have only a 5' end. We don't have a 3' end. Okay, so under such conditions, again a primase will come into our action. The primase, as usual, it will synthesize a small piece of RNA opposite to the 3' end of the DNA and from in 5' to 3' direction. Okay, now to this 3' end of the primer, our DNA polymerase will come and it will start its action. Got it? So once this portion is over, again the helicase will move and it will create a new replication bubble. Okay, so again in this new space, what will happen? In one strand where there is free 3' end, the synthesis will be, the elongation will be continuous. Whereas in the other strand, again a primer will be added, which will be elongated then by DNA polymerase. Okay, so the strand in which the DNA synthesis is continuous is called as leading strand. Whereas the opposite strand, where every time a primer is added, which is then followed by a synthesis of short piece of DNA, is called as lagging strand. Okay, so here this is the leading strand and the other one is lagging strand. Okay, so in this lagging strand, the small piece of DNA synthesized each and every time is called as Okazaki fragments. Got it? So like this, the synthesis continues till the end of the DNA. Okay, so now once after this is completed, what we should do is this primer has to be removed. Okay, already I told you that this primer is made up of ribonucleotides. Okay, but in DNA, whether ribonucleotides are allowed? No, it is not allowed. Okay, so in the next we will see how these ribonucleotides are removed and it is replaced by deoxyribonucleotides. Okay, so you can see here, this is the primer which is running from 5' to 3' direction, and then it is followed by the Okazaki fragment. Okay, so now what will happen means the primer from the 5' end, the ribonucleotides of primer will be removed one by one, and it will be replaced by deoxyribonucleotide by an enzyme called as DNA polymerase 1. Okay, so what is special about this DNA polymerase 1 means how it differs from our main enzyme DNA polymerase 3 means it has an extra 5' to 3' exonuclease activity. It has 5' to 3' exonuclease activity. Okay, so by this 5' 3' exonuclease activity, the ribonucleotides will be removed one by one from the 5' end to 3' end. Okay, and then by the usual 5' to 3' polymerase activity, this will be replaced by deoxyribonucleotides. Got it? So after replacing this primer with deoxyribonucleotides, the final gap will be filled and it will be sealed by an enzyme called as DNA ligase. Okay, so with this, the elongation process